Here we go now.
We all have busy lives, and I know especially around the holidays, cooking, cleaning, shopping, returning gifts makes it even busier. So why not make it a lot easier when it comes to preparing your meals in just 2 minutes? Our friends over at Factor Meals are back here again to sponsor today's live recap. And they have actually some good news, especially for those that have New Year's resolutions to lose weight. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that makes eating, well, easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so that you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Why not lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto? Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. And as always, we've gotten you a deal. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals and your discount will be available in the description. Now let's get back to the show. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Happy birthday to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Be sure to let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. It is our usual Real Housewives of Potomac recap, but we cannot do this live without commemorating the life, legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Come on. Oh, sorry. Trying to press the buttons here. I love this photo because there's so many photos of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For those that are probably listening to the podcast version of this, or those of you watching on TikTok, I have a photo that I'm sharing on our YouTube stream and our Twitch and Twitter and Facebook stream. I feel like this is the perfect expression of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., especially for today. But I did want to read, because it is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s federal holiday. His birthday was a few days ago. But I did want to read a little bit of one of my favorite speeches, and it's his probably most iconic speech ever, the I Have a Dream speech. So I'm going to read a part of it now and a part of it during our Married to Medicine recap as well. If you haven't already, guys, be sure to like today's video. We will get into Real Housewives of Potomac in just a second. But this is Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech. He said back then, 5 scores years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon, light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who have been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly grappled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. So you're understanding why I feel like this is so necessary. Besides it being Dr. King's federal holiday, why this speech still, how many years later, is still important. So Dr. King went on to say, when the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was promised that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. And so we've come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood and sisterhood. Add my own little edits. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summer of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Some might say 2025 is not an end, but a beginning. So he says 1993 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. Do you see how relevant this speech is how many years later? Dr. King continues in his I Have a Dream speech, but there is something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to distrust all white people, for many of our white brothers and sisters, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. And they have come to realize that our freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone. And as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality, George Floyd. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating "for whites only." We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that has unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends. So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of our former slaves and the sons of our former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I could continue to read this speech, but I will continue during our Married to Medicine recap because we will be celebrating the memory of Dr. King all day, all week, all month if we want to. But as we read through the beginning of his iconic I Have a Dream speech, you see how relevant, how many years later, this speech continues to be, especially on this very critical day in American, but also worldly history. I say all that to say happy birthday to the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and to his family that continues to keep his legacy alive. And also to the late Coretta Scott King, who helped usher us into this federal holiday. Thank you all for being here with me today. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. This is our weekly recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. If you had to rate this week's episode from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? How would you rate it? I probably would rate this week's episode somewhere in that 4 to 6 range. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite episode this week. And I'm going to be twerking on a fence a lot because I feel like Mia's a liar. I do believe that. But I also feel like, why are they making such a big deal of something that really doesn't necessarily affect them? You get what I'm saying? But we've been saying that throughout the season. Like, we get it. We know that Mia's a known liar. But at the same time, I'm sort of like, okay, I don't understand why we're making such a big deal. And Karen, this is not playing out well for you, especially knowing what we know and what we've seen. You calling someone a liar, you calling someone not being 100% straightforward. What we saw did not bode well for you, in today's, situation. Okay. Boa says it was better than last week's episode. That's not saying much. And why are we spending 2 episodes talking about Ashley and her drag king storyline? Why are we spending that much time? I thought really this episode was going to be, okay, we're going to have a little moment at her drag king. we are going to drag this drag king episode into next week's episode? No. Who's in charge of this? Who is in charge of this? I don't care. And when they showed us all the other times that Ashley has performed, and I was like, what? Ashley, we don't care. And I'm not saying, because I know a lot of people said, Ashley needs to get off the show. Ashley, okay, fine. Even with Ashley on the show right now, why would we care about her drag king persona? I don't care. Didn't care before. And then when they showed her performing, I was like, this woman cannot perform, but I get it. They look at someone like Countess Luann, and I blame the fans. They look at Countess Luann, who doesn't have a smidgen of talent. I'm going to say the things. She doesn't have a smidgen of talent, but is touring the world with her cabaret show. So I guess with Ashley's smidgen of talent, she wants to do the same. No. Can we normalize not supporting talentless people with our hard-earned dollars? I mean, it's one thing to watch a reality show, but to actually get up, get dressed, pay for tickets, transportation, probably for dinner, and a night out to see Ashley, Darby, and her two left feet perform? And now as a guy? Okay. Fine. Okay. DB says, Ashley, get a real job, girl. Look, she is a reality TV personality. I was about to say star. She's a reality TV personality, but girl, give us something else. I don't care about your drag king era. Another era of you performing, and we know you don't have a smidgen of talent. Come on. Dina says, Kempire, money can buy you talent. Can it? I'm still waiting to see someone that has bought talent. It's one thing to have talent, but buying talent or buying a following or influence, that's another thing. But actual talent, no. She has no actual talent. And when they showed when she performed at the G&A event that we still have no idea what is G&A now, I'm like, girl, wrap it up. Wrap it up. All right. Let me focus. Let me start at the top. Guys. Don't forget, I will be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern for our Married to Medicine recap. I did see that Dr. Wendy Asefo was on Watch What Happens Live with Keke Palmer, which she was a vibe, Keke Palmer. Speaking of Ashley, I guess Ashley told Dr. Wendy to suck a you-know-what when she stopped by Watch What Happens Live. And Dr. Wendy said that, what's his name? Josh Harlow was a rented boyfriend. And I agree. I was actually surprised that Dr. Wendy said that Ashley could do better. We talked about it during our recap. I was like, really? But I feel like Wendy really gives these women a lot of grace, and she tries to be there for them like a real friend, unlike them to her. And she said that, Ashley could do better. And we said, really? You think she could do better? Really? Okay. But I agree with Dr. Wendy when she was on Watch What Happens Live last night. She says, I was actually coming, I was being funny, I was being shady, but I was also being supportive. Wouldn't you like the fact that I said that you could do better? I didn't realize she told Dr. Wendy to go suck it. I was like, what? She said that? I didn't realize she said that. Okay. They also talked about the reunion, the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I don't trust Andy Cohen in regards to him hyping up another reunion. He also said the Roni reunion was good. We'll see. I mean, he doesn't bat 100 when it comes to, talking about these reunions, and then we finally see anything good from it. So I'm going to wait and hold out judgment. I'm not going to say that Real Housewives of Potomac won't be good, but if it's not good, he will hear from us. Apparently, there's like 4 or 5 more episodes. Maybe 4 more after this week's episode. Potomac, maybe this is why the group is coming after Mia in regards to her lying, which she's done since her first season. Because it feels like, why would you guys even care? It's not like she's lying on you. If anything, you should care more about her calling your daughters whores. It just and I think this is why Kiana was sort of like, why are you guys making such a big deal out of her own personal stuff? As if she is look, I do agree with the group that it's very irresponsible and disgusting that Mia would try and use Gordon's mental health for her convenience and as a storyline and the whole it's icky. But for them to make up this whole big reaction to it, I'm just sort of like, I get it. Mia's a liar. And even Mia, with all your receipts that you put out, it doesn't show anything that proves your point. I think you think the receipts land, but they don't land. I still just don't understand the vitriol from the group, especially when they were doing interviews and Jazelle was like, I am so done with her. Okay. But look, now that we know, and maybe this is why someone leaked it to the press, I can understand why Jazelle would be done with Mia after she, called her daughters whores. I can understand that. But the anger that they have towards Mia for Mia doing what Mia has done from the beginning. I also don't believe that Jazelle and Mia were friends. Remember when she was saying, oh, because Mia's my friend, I feel a little bit differently about her talking about my daughters. I don't believe that you guys were ever friends. I believe more so that you've been friends with Karen, even though it's been like this sort of like, and here's the thing too, Karen, the way that they've come after you these last couple of seasons, meaning Jazelle, even if she was trying to use other people to come after you, now you guys are joining in cahoots to come after someone else. Okay. All right. But anyways, let's start at the top. I don't like, especially after watching the body cam footage of Karen and Ray, I don't like the way that Karen speaks to Ray. I have a completely different feeling. Now when I see how she's being so snarky with him and looks like she's losing her patience with him, he's starting a car, they're going golfing, and I just don't like the way she's talking to him. I didn't like the way she was talking to him during the arrest either. But now I see her, I don't like the way this, what did Ray do to you? Because look, again, I always say this, if the roles were reversed and Ray treated Karen the way that she treats him on camera, we'd probably be talking about something else. We'd be calling him Greg. Yeah, Kiana's Greg. We'd be calling it Greg. Can we talk? Can we talk? If the tables were reversed, we would feel differently. Like, I don't like the way that Ray speaks. I just love Ray. When Ray starts laughing, his laugh is contagious. I'm just like, Ray. I got to record that because his laugh makes me laugh. Okay. Anyways, that was even a scene. Okay. We see Jazelle with her daughters. Grace is giving her her angel on the door advice for when they are dating guys. Fine. Okay, very small little scenes at the top. Then we have this scene with Ashley meeting with the drag king. Look, I just want to skip over it, but for those that watch only my recap and you don't watch the episodes, she meets with a fellow drag king. She's talking about her drag king performance that's coming up. She has the most insincere facial expressions. Like she's sitting there listening to the drag king talk about the performance and things like that, and she's just like that. It's so insincere. It's like it's this fake grin. I'm like, ew, Ashley. Look, I was like, what is happening right now? So she's saying that, she's always loved drag shows. She's been hosting all kinds of drag shows. And, she loves to have a creative outlet. She dances, she performs. And so they start showing all the different times throughout the last seasons that we have been suffering watching Ashley perform. Okay? Including the G&A event this season. And Wendy's like, where's the auto-tune? Auto-tune's not going to help that. Okay? And then the drag king gives Ashley some moves to work on. Okay. She also said that she's inviting her family. Uncle Lump is going to be there. her mom, and she's inviting Josh. And she's like, if Josh can still bang her after seeing her dress up as Ashton, she's like, oh, she's met her match. If he is turned on by Ashton, I will have other questions. Okay? All right, let's move on. I can't with Ashley. So, K. Stewart Beauty. I wonder if the production has heard the fans' cries that Kiana is highlighting Greg and Greg's businesses too much and not her own, because we finally have a short scene with Kiana at K. Stewart Beauty. Okay, so Jazelle arrives first, so she's giving Jazelle a tour. As you know, Kiana knows Jazelle through Cal, her hairstylist. So she's like, any friend of Cal is a friend of mine. How convenient. Anyway, so Wendy arrives and she's like, oh, she's got a flat. So she calls the guy and she's like, ma'am, your membership has expired. It has. Wendy's reactions were hilarious to me. I'm like, what is going on? Okay. So she goes in and they sit down and they have a conversation and they talk about Greg and how Greg does not like filming. Greg doesn't like to be on this show. They also talk about how Greg doesn't like a hyphenated name. And there are men like him. I just didn't know we had them still in 2024. Well, 2025 now. I just didn't. Okay. And she said she wants to hyphenate her name. She said she's not changing her business name, obviously. But she wanted to do a hyphenated name. And then he flashed back to what Greg says, if she start acting like acting right, she can become a Diggs. So a lot of you have already seen the red flags with Greg, but now that they're flashing back to these different scenes with Greg and Kiana, I'm like, if she start acting right, and it seems as if, and I don't know if this is an insecurity or she's just ready for marriage, and that's why she's putting up with some of these weird things from Greg. If she start acting right, she might become a Diggs. Kiana, I want better for you in your European cities, your Europe cities, as you like to call it. I want better for you. I don't think, I feel like you have bigger aspirations that just don't fit with Greg. And this might be part of the reason why Greg doesn't want you on the show, because he's like, you see, I was right. Everybody's commenting on our relationship, blah, 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 blah. She says they bicker a lot about domestic roles. Yeah, because Greg wants, I guess a stay-at-home wife. I don't know. He expects different things from Kiana that she disagrees with. All right. So they talk about that. Look, honestly, I don't even care about Kiana's storyline with Greg. I don't. I mean, that's her storyline. As we know, she got her flute very late in the season, and you could feel it based off the edit. But, all right, Kiana, you like it, we love it. See you later. Don't bring it back next season, unless you broke up with him. Sorry. Not really. Okay? We want better for you. We want better for you, because it feels like you're settling. That's what it does. It feels like you're settling. Like you're willing to put up. You guys seem like you have very different ideologies when it comes to your roles in a relationship. And those are very critical. And here's the thing. When you start moving in with each other, you bought a house together, you didn't get married. This is another reason why people are like, oh, I'm gonna stick it out. We're tied to the house and this and that and this. That. Girl, you can sell the house. He could buy you out the house, or you can buy him out the house. You don't need to be with him. You don't need to be with him. But again, this is probably another reason why he didn't want her on the show, because now everybody's sharing their opinions on their relationship. Now everyone might wake her up out of the situation that she's in. He doesn't want her to wake up. He wants to continue to bamboozle her to say, no, this is what a good man looks like. Does it? Kiana, you're beautiful. You're successful on your own. People like your bubbly personality. You could do better, girl. You could do better. A lot better. Damn. Is this what you ladies are dealing with out in these streets? Okay. But again, this is probably part of the reason why he didn't want her on the show. He didn't want people giving her an opinion about him. It might have saved your life, Kiana. Khadijah, thank you so much for the super chat. Khadijah says, hey, Kempire, sending good vibes out today. Thank you so much, Khadijah. I appreciate that. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, $20 super chat. Let me shimmy for it. Miss Esquire says, this is what I love about the Kempire community. We are equal parts righteousness and ratchetness, and a place where you can bring all facets of yourself and be multi-dimensional. Love it here. Thank you, Miss Esquire, as I shimmied. Destination Sunrise, thank you so much for the super chat. Destination says, hey, Kempire, I don't usually catch you live, but I know we both love, yes, a young, famous, and African, and I have to say I'm concerned about Annie. Like, what the hell? I will be recapping it, so stay tuned. I just have to, I'm going to break it down as opposed to recapping all, all the episodes at one time because there's so many episodes. So stay tuned for that. Kalani, thank you so much for the super chat. Kalani says, production did Ashley wrong with that video montage. They only shared what she's given us throughout the years. I don't even say they did her wrong. Those things happened. She decided to have those moments filmed. That damn coffee in the morning song is so stupid. Sorry. Ms. Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Another super chat. Ms. Esquire says, Greg wants a white elephant, a contradiction in terms, a successful businesswoman who somehow also acts like a traditional wife. Yep. Everything you just said. And mind you, he hasn't even filmed that much, and people pick up on that energy. He probably also got really mad at her for sharing these details about their relationship on the show. I wouldn't be surprised. Kiana, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do because, again, we're only seeing a snapshot of your relationship. But what we've seen of your relationship, I have not seen anything really redeeming of Greg. I'm sorry, Greg. It is what it is. I have not seen one redeeming quality. All right. I did not expect a scene between Ray Huger and Gordon Thornton. I was not ready for it, but I was here for it because usually the husbands, they don't really bring a lot. But Ray and Gordon having a sit-down lunch and spilling tea, I was here for it. Whatever producer thought of this, good job. You deserve a little bit of a raise. So Ray gives Gordon an update on Karen's, accident and her DUI and things like that. He says that Karen thinks that she will be exonerated because no one was harmed. Ray's just being a good husband, the same way he got out of his bed at 11 o'clock at night to go pick Karen up as she was being belligerent with the police. Okay? More on that later. Gordon gives us an update on things that are happening between him and Mia. And because Ray got all the tea, Ray was sort of like, so we heard that the kids you picked up the kids and you brought the kids somewhere else. And Gordon says that that he made some decision that Mia made some decisions that were questionable. So that's why he went to pick up his kids. We all kind of put that together ourselves. And Mia shared text messages on social media. I'll read just what she posted on social media. I'm not going to go through the text messages because they prove nothing. If they prove something, then I would say to you guys, well, yeah, she kind of did drop some tea. She didn't drop any tea. Okay? So she says this in a tweet. Let me set the record straight. I was not the one who brought the questioning of my son's paternity into the public eye. His father did. I did not expose my infidelity to the world. My husband did. It was Gordon who chose to air out our family matters on TMZ and later went on a public apology tour during last year's reunion. He revealed something I had been protecting him from for years, his diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which causes him to behave unpredictably. But we've had quite a few people that have bipolar disorder, people that work with people with bipolar disorder, and they say that everything that you keep saying is not what falls under bipolar disorder. We believe that Gordon has bipolar disorder, but when he is correcting you on whatever you got going on, you try to make it seem like it's about his mental health issue. No. So she dropped some receipts, and in those receipts, she talked about how the kids were at Jacqueline's with some girls that I guess Jacqueline is watching Jacqueline's kids. But remember, Jacqueline's sister used to watch the kids, and now I don't know if she's still locked up, but she got into a legal situation for other kids that she was taking care of. So I could understand why Gordon might be like to himself, my kids are with Jacqueline's family and her babysitters. I don't trust that. Understandably. We could understand why Gordon might not feel safe with the kids being at Jacqueline's friends or, babysitters, taking care of the kids. Okay. So they talked about that. What else? He also, Gordon brings up what I did love before they even started eating their food. They blessed the food. I was like, okay, bless your food. And I'm glad they left that in. So Gordon says that Ink brought up the paternity, and Mia said that anything is possible. And they show it back, and they show that moment when she was having a conversation with Gordon where she says, it's always a possibility that he might not be the father of the kids. So we find out in this scene that Gordon, in fact, did do a paternity test, but did not tell Mia, because he's like, I don't have to tell Mia. He didn't tell Mia originally, but for a few weeks. And then he told her. He found out that Jeremiah is, in fact, his son. But we kind of already knew that because of the type of procedures that she had in order to get pregnant. So Gordon says he did the paternity test, and he's the father. And again, he waited a couple of weeks before he told Mia, which I found to be interesting. Look, I don't think Gordon's innocent. Please understand, us not being happy with Mia and us dogging out Mia doesn't mean that we think that Gordon is innocent. Gordon still wants to be married to this woman. Gordon says in this conversation with Ray, he's like, what's the sense? Unless we want to get remarried to other people, what's the sense in us getting a divorce? Huh? Like, there's something fishy about this whole situation between Mia and Gordon. And I don't know if it's the finances. I don't know if it's the selling of the businesses. I don't know. But they're both, I think, are liars and should not be trusted. Okay. So Ray tells him that Karen told him when she was pregnant with Raven that she could have, she has gray and blue eyes in her family. Raven, how long ago was this blue eye rumor, Mr. Blue Eyes? Because are we talking about Raven possibly being another man's child? Is that what Ray was insinuating? I know he tried to downplay. He was like, oh, no, that's not happening. I was like, why are we talking about gray and blue eyes right now? And then they flash back to Mr. Blue Eyes. I'm like, how long has Mr. Blue Eyes been around? Look, before, I think some of us did believe that Karen might step out on her marriage. But the fact that Karen has denied it, and Karen has been proven this year to be not the most reliable reporter, a liar. I believe everything that they even mentioned in this one, that Karen is screwing other men. I believe it now. 100% believe that Karen is screwing other men. But I think Ray might be okay with it. If your partner's okay with it, is it okay? If you maybe they have an open marriage. I sure hope for his sake. I agree, Emily. I said the same thing. I said Raven is his child. Emily says, hell no, Raven is Ray's twin. I believe that Raven looks like Ray too, especially in those eyes. But I don't look. I know of someone that had a baby, but the egg wasn't hers, and the sperm wasn't. She had a sperm donor. But you could never tell. If you look at her child, you would think that was her child. So you just never know. I just want to put that out there, okay? So you just never know. But I just thought that was interesting that Ray even said that. DB says Raven is definitely Ray's daughter. I guess anything is possible. All right, let's talk about Stacey. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. But if you're a part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on this week's episode and how you would rate this week's episode. And don't forget, you can also hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. And right now, exclusively, you can hear my conversation with Chanel Ion, formerly of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and on the new season of The Traitors. Right now, exclusively, that's the only place where you can listen to my conversation with her. We will be premiering the video tomorrow here on the Kempire YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe here, and you can also follow us on Facebook for watching it as well. All right. So Stacey meets with an attorney. I don't think she's meeting with her attorney. I thought she had an attorney in regards to the divorce. So apparently Stacey only had a mediator so they can figure out the details of their divorce. I don't think Stacey's this dumb. However, Stacey says that she has a mediator to figure out her divorce. She says that the attorney tells her that, an attorney will advocate for you. But Stacey says that she has waived her right to child support because she believes that her husband will take care of Arabella, as he has. He will continue to do so. And the attorney is sort of like, well, things can change in a divorce. Things can change if your ex decides to get remarried and that woman's like, yeah, you're not taking care of her anymore. We've seen this happen. However, in defense of Stacey, I will say this. Stacey's not the only person to waive child support, and a couple, or maybe just a baby's father or something, where they have a decent relationship, and that person, they didn't have to go to court, and that person actually gives more than they would have gotten in court for their child. She's not the only person. Let's not pretend like that doesn't happen. Is it the best thing to do because you could end up screwing yourself in the end? Yeah, it's probably not the best thing to do. It's not really protecting Stacey. But I don't think that it's unusual either. I do know quite a few people where they have an amicable relationship, or they had a good situation with the father of their children, and he was like, yeah, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. I will pay for the child. Or it's gone left and the situation gets a little ugly, and they fight for child support, and they end up getting less than they would normally get from child support than they were getting outside of court. Ms. Esquire, our local attorney, says also child support is something that you can revisit if things go left. Spousal support, however, is not the same. I wish they would have said that maybe they did and it just wasn't included, but that's a good point. It's not something child support, she can always go back and have, which does happen too, where a new person comes into the relationship, that they're dating someone new or they got married to someone, and now your child support payments are lower, or not child support, like your whatever support you were giving to the child has changed, or you don't want to support the child anymore. It's not like you can't go to court and like, he needs to pay. Okay? Ms. Brooklyn said, good point, Ms. Brooklyn. She says, we do not know the dynamics of their relationship, and he may have set up a trust for Arabella, etc. We have to wait until the whole story fleshes out. Which is true. Like, I feel like some people automatically jump to the like, oh my gosh, that's a terrible thing. I don't think it's a terrible thing. And like Ms. Esquire said, you can always revisit child support if he stops paying or stops taking care of their daughter. But she knows him better than we do. We don't know him. We never even met him on the show. He might be a good man, Savannah. He might be. But I know that when we watch the scene, it's sort of like, I don't know if that's a smart decision. But the spousal support, she's like, she doesn't know if he will take care of her. She trusts that he will always take care of Arabella, but she doesn't know. What does Stacey do for work now? I know Stacey was a newscaster and then she was on QVC, but what does she do for work now? But I don't blame her for wanting to get spousal support. I wonder how. We don't really know anything about her husband. I've seen pictures of her husband, but apparently he does very well. She says he makes way more money than she does, and she says the one thing that she does want to secure is her spousal support. So I think, look, we had an attorney in the live chat just tell you they can always revisit child support, spousal support, not so much. Okay. Dina says she found hidden money, so she doesn't know. Well, she didn't say she found hidden money. She said there were things that she found out that she didn't know about, that her name were on things that she didn't know about. That could be a lot of stuff. So let's not jump to conclusions on what that is. It doesn't mean that it was necessarily something that was bad for her. If anything, it could have been like, oh shoot, like Sutton, I own a baseball team. So we don't know 100% what she was meaning. She could be conflating that to make it seem like, guys, I think you were right. I found out things. For all we know, she found out she's got bank accounts in her name, businesses in her name that are doing very well. We don't know. Or it could be doing bad, but she didn't know about it. And that was the bigger question. I believe, because, there are rumors that Stacey was the one to leak her being on the Real Housewives of Potomac, that she allegedly did not tell producers that she was going through a divorce, and they found out after everything started up. So they had to switch up her storyline, allegedly. So they're saying that we're not getting 100% the truth from Stacey. I don't know. I still have enjoyed Stacey on this season, though. I like the kooky energy that she brings. She's willing to kind of get along with everyone, especially with such a divisive last few seasons of Potomac. She has been really like a nice little, addition to the show. And better than Kiana. I've enjoyed Stacey more than Kiana this season. Like, despite her cringy relationship with TJ, I've enjoyed her. I want to see more. And I implore her, if she's going to come back next season, that she be 100% honest and just have fun. Emily says she's kind of boring. Here's the thing. I think people think that being out there and doing all these things makes entertaining television. No, for me, she falls into the category of a Cynthia Bailey. I don't need everyone on this cast to be extra and doing a lot. I liked Stacey's energy this season. I can see how some people might see that she's boring, but would I watch just a show about Stacey? No. But I like the energy that she brought to this group, especially after the last few seasons that we've had. That's my opinion. But I could see why some people might think that she's boring. We needed a little bit of the quirky, fun energy this season. Everyone's saying no TJ. Yeah, we could leave TJ over there. Stacey, don't bring TJ back. Give him the severance paycheck and send him on his way. Okay. All right. Jazelle goes shopping with her daughters. I love the Container Store. I do love the Container Store. So they go to the Container Store. We find out a little bit more about Jazelle. She's updating us on what's been going on in her life. I didn't know she had a degree in marketing. She talks about how they're still in courts with her father's will because, the father's will is being contested. She said we find out that she bought a investment home near Doris School so she can visit because she don't like the hotels near there. She reflects on the different Christmas trees. She would always go Christmas tree shopping with her dad. It was like their tradition. So they want to do something in honor of him. So they're going to do a Christmas tree. So I was like, I like these scenes with Jazelle. Some of y'all would have said this scene with Jazelle was boring. No, I like these scenes with Jazelle and her daughters. It seems like the most authentic. This is probably the best side of Jazelle that we get to see. I enjoy them, and I enjoy seeing the daughters with her and them dragging her. Not really dragging. They're being kids. They're being teens with their mom. Okay. So I thought this was a nice scene. I liked seeing this side of Jazelle. We always have. Okay. Damn, Dean, you're just coming with the bad news. The Container Store filed bankruptcy recently. Well, does that mean prices are gonna go down? Let me go get something. Okay. Let's move on. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. We did have a couple of super chats. Let me say thanks. Paulette, thank you for the super chat. Paulette says, Kempire, take care of yourself after these lives. Thank you. Thank you, Paulette. I am. I have a few lives today. Delon, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Thank you for the super chat, Delon. Delon says, I am quite tired of Mia's storyline. And also Jizzy and Karen ganging up on her is very corny. The viewers do it enough. This cast uses each other to deflect from what they have going on. I'm more interested in baddies. Delon, is that a picture of us? That's hilarious. That was from the Nashville show, right? Yeah, that was from the Nashville show, Delon. I was like, wait a second, that's a picture of us. from the meet and greet. Miss Esquire was there too. We had a bunch of people for our meet and greet in Nashville. Thank you, DeLon. I agree with you. I hope people understand my feeling about the situation, because I'm like, I don't like Mia. Please understand that. I think Mia's a liar. But at the same time, I'm sort of like, y'all feel so pressed about something that it feels like y'all shouldn't be so pressed about. But again, they're deflecting. Thank you, DeLon, for the super chat. Crystal, thank you so much for the shimmying for the $20 bills. Crystal says, I am so over RHOP. Can't wait until Friday. I want you to sign my purple Kempire journal. I ordered it from you years ago. I'm bringing my 24-year-old daughter. I thought you were 24, Crystal. I'm looking at your picture. Daughter to the show. We are both super excited for the meet and greet. Thank you, Crystal. I look forward to it. Yes, guys, don't forget, there's a low ticket alert on the meet and greet tickets, but if you want to meet me in Washington, D.C., this Friday, I'm coming to Washington, D.C. at Union Stage for the Kempire After Dark live experience. Go get your tickets today. There is a low ticket alert on general admission as well. I know some of you may have been waiting for whatever reason. Don't wait anymore. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience is available in the description. Then New York City, we are coming back on February 21st, Friday, February 21st. Back to the Green Room 42 for another live experience. So get your tickets for that. But if you're international, if you're across the country, or if you're out of state, get your tickets for the live stream option available exclusively for the New York City show. Okay? All right. Thank you, Crystal, for the super chat, and I'll see you in DC on Friday. Fabiana, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm just shimmying. You guys just got me shimmying today. I thought of you, Kempire, when I saw Stacey and TJ. Oh, laughing my butt off. He is such a cornball with so much contradictory statements. He needs to get himself and Stacey together with the fake relationship. Yeah, it's feeling like that more and more, and I don't know why Stacey felt the need to do that for whatever reason. And I feel like it's production that makes them feel that way. Lady Shep, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. It says, like, share, and subscribe as you come in, please, and thank you. Thank you, Lady Shep. I appreciate that, and for you being a member. All right, let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. Yes, you can get a discount, Kempire 10 for 10% off. Okay, back to this. Where do I want to begin? All right. Let's talk about Stacey and TJ. So Stacey and TJ have this scene. They have a lunch. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people can relate to Stacey's story, especially after going through, or in the middle of going through, a divorce, where she says she doesn't feel like herself. She went from 15 to 16 years spending it with this man. And she says she was a pillar of the community. They were, a couple. I can't imagine. I've never been through a divorce. I can only imagine. Okay. So she talks about that, and she talks about how her husband, when he returns, he's going to be moving out of their home. So TJ's sort of like, so does that mean I'll be able to come over? Because remember, he only goes over to her DC apartment. Okay? And he's like, Stacey's like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for him to meet Arabella. She doesn't want to mess up, because she has such a cordial relationship with her ex, or soon-to-be ex. And she doesn't want to mess up that cordial relationship. Understandable. But TJ says, I feel like you're hiding me. I mean, you're filming a reality show. But I get it in a way, but you're filming a reality show. So she tries to explain to him what she's been feeling like, that she feels in limbo, that she doesn't feel like herself. She's been going through what she's been going through. She's like finding herself again, basically, in this divorce. And she says she just has not been feeling like herself. And I was like, okay, now this is the true storyline that Stacey has, is that she's going through this divorce and that she just does not feel like who she thought she was. And I don't know if she really did know going into this filming that she was going to get a divorce and this was part of her plan. I don't know. Honestly, it's a smart plan. Okay? Someone says no sex, no label. Is that true for you guys? But she's on board with it, apparently. Here's the thing, though. I wonder if Stacey came on the show as her plan of securing financial independence because she knew she was getting this divorce. which I can't hate on. You got do what you got to do. Or did she come into this thinking that, yes, I'm still married, but all of a sudden, okay, no, now I'm getting a divorce. I wonder the timeline of things. You know what I mean? Did she come in knowing she was getting a divorce, or did she find out that she was getting a divorce, or decided that she was getting a divorce during the season? Let's see. Michael says that did Karen release a statement? Let me look. Because this would be breaking news. Let me look. Hold on, y'all. Someone says that Karen released a statement that she'd be leaving the show. Is it true? Let me just check. Let's see. I don't see anything here. Let me see. Let me go. This is a live show because some of y'all just come in here saying anything and then it's nothing. Let me see. I don't see anything. Oh, wait, here it is. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Our friends over at It's Only Entertainment report that, hold on, Karen has released this thing. Not the Grand Dame forever. No, girl. Not the Grand Dame forever. So this is the statement. Oh, this is such a punk move. Is this really true? I only see this on one place. Is this a real statement? Let me go to her Instagram. I don't see anything on her Instagram, y'all. And I don't see anything. I see something from It's Only Entertainment. Is this made up? Look. Oh, it's a fake statement. Thank you, O'Shea. O'Shea says it's a fake statement from Twitter. Someone said it's not a fake. Yeah, because I don't see it on her Instagram. I don't see, they always release statements through their publicists. And mind you, she's supposed to be in rehab. All right, it's fake. Please don't come in here with fake news, y'all. Please make sure that you've double checked where you got this information from. Thank you, Jean. Jean says it's proven to be fake. All right, so moving on. And this is a fake statement. So y'all just creating fake statements? Oh, Lord. Anyways, y'all, it's fake, okay? I am looking at a photo of Karen and her daughter. Yeah, she looked like Ray. Anyways, back to this. Exactly. Portia says, I haven't seen it on any reputable sites. And and if this came out 16 hours ago, this story, then, okay. Chi-Town says it was a post and delete. I guess we'll wait till they post it up again. Okay. Let's move on. All right. Once we get the official word, I wouldn't be surprised if Karen decides to take a season off. Okay? Amit says it's from a parody account, fake news. But it wouldn't surprise me if Karen just did decide not to return, especially after next season, so she doesn't have to be held accountable. Okay. There's a lot of parody stuff that goes on Twitter that a lot of you guys fall for. There was another story about Brynn exiting Roni as well. I think she'll be fired. But she didn't ever announce anything. There was something else that was going around. Please don't bring me any parody news. Teresa says that if it was true, TMZ or People would have it. Or more blogs would be reporting on it. Just saying. But I didn't see anything, especially if it came out 16 hours ago. Let's move on. All right, so Stacey has this lunch with TJ. She talks about how she does not feel like herself. But TJ also feels like she's hiding him. Okay? TJ gets emotional, okay? Because he says he doesn't want to feel like he's pressuring her. He doesn't like the fact that she feels like she's in limbo. I told you, when we found out that TJ was an actor, I said, this is another red pride flag. I was like, wait a minute. Did she hire him to be on this show? And based off that performance he gave us, I understand why we've never known of him as an actor. But okay, shut up. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel 100%. And I was, we're body language experts. When he got emotional, I didn't see a tear. But look, he's an actor. I felt like they were welling up. So she gives him a hug. The body language was quite telling, and not his body language. I know you probably think I'm talking about his body language. No. He embraced her. He came all around. He's all in this performance. So I looked at her body language. Her body language, go back and watch it. Mr. Melvin says, Kempire, you might as well pretend to be Stacey's man. Maybe I will be for next season. Nope. Okay, but go back and watch the scene. His body language, he's all over her like this, probably because production probably told him, yeah, every time he's with you, it doesn't feel real, doesn't feel like he's into you. He never wants to touch you. But you notice as we are watching the season progress, we're seeing him being a little bit more touchy-feely. Probably production is telling her, like, it's not convincing. But he goes and he hugs her like this, like a good bear hug. Okay? But her body language, her arms are under his, and it's sort of like this. Like her hands are like almost outward. She's not having her hands outward, but look at her body language. Her body language was quite telling. Her body language said it to me that wasn't her man. You know what I mean? Her body language was giving me... Nikki says, get your woman, Kemp. No. Marigold says, I blame production. Why are you playing in our faces? They know it's obvious too. They probably did notice it during the season. Probably said stuff. She was stiff. She was definitely stiff hugging him back. And yes, K-Baby says the quick kiss. Girl, if you going, Natasha says lavender marriages are a thing these days, Kemper. I know. I told you I'll have my lavender marriage when I'm 94. No time before. Okay? I got quite a few more decades before then. Okay? Anyways, so I don't believe it. I wish she would have hired a better actor. Maybe he came cheap. Maybe he came cheap. Sanchera says that TJ is another Walter. Dare I say Walter was more convincing? Wouldn't you think so? Don't you think Walter was more convincing? Who was more convincing, Walter or TJ? Okay, hold on. Tasman says, Kemp, maybe it's because Stacey isn't used to intimacy from TJ. Maybe. Okay, we can play devil's advocate. Because, yeah. Daily Vibe says 94 is crazy. What? Come on, 94. If I'm still around at 94, lavender marriage it is. Who wants to be my wife when I'm 94? Just like not TJ's day rate. What did you say? Hold on. Sarah says not TJ's day rate is economical. He's not a good actor. All right, let's move on. All right, what do I want to talk about? Okay, Karen gets ready for Ashley's show. She's talking with Ray. She's showing him all. I don't like how she talks to Ray. He's talking about, oh, you're gonna put it on for me, and show he's like, no, don't have time for putting this on for you, Ray. Yeah, but you got time for other men. Why are we treating Ray like this? So Ray spills all the tea in regards to his conversation with Gordon. He lets Karen know about how the kids are mostly with Gordon 25 days out of the 31 days. Ray says that Gordon did a paternity test. So Karen's just like, what? Okay. Karen says that Mia saying that knowing this info and having people pray over you, the hypocrisy of it all. People didn't they pray for Karen too? See, this is what I'm talking about. Karen, I'm watching this episode, and I think if we didn't see the body cam footage, we probably feel a little differently. But the fact that we've seen the body cam footage and these women were praying over Karen before she went to court. They were praying over you, and then we saw the body cam footage. What was worse? The women praying over Mia or the women praying over Karen knowing that body cam footage was there? And she could have taken her life and someone else's life. Which one was worse? I'll wait. Look, matter of fact, I'll answer for you. Karen was worse. They were praying over you being a drunk driver. So to me, it was her talking about Mia, talking about Mia being a liar. She's like, Mia is a liar. and you're not going to give them the truth, all of this stuff is going to not age well for Karen. And they keep alluding that Karen was sort of there at the reunion in spirit. I don't know if Karen did a phone call. I don't know if she phoned it in from rehab. I don't know. But I will wait and see. Jan says, they both bad, Kev. God said, why am I in it? Oh, my goodness. All right. Carlisle says, they're both riddled with lies. That's a perfect way of saying it, too. So, Ray says that Gordon reveals that they may have just stay separated and they won't actually get divorced. So Karen's sort of like, we're thinking that this divorce is almost final. We never thought the divorce was almost final. I don't know where we thought this divorce was with Mia and Gordon, but I don't know if we thought that it was almost final. Okay. Fast forward to the drag event. Okay, so Kay arrives. Did you guys like Kay's outfit? Kay is cute. She comes in showing off the skins. All right. I guess they all were supposed to dress like their interpretation of masculine, and some of them did it, some of them didn't. Kay talks about some of the issues that she's been having with Greg. She says, it's like the growing pains of moving in with each other. She says that he doesn't like filming and her hanging around these other women. Girl. I don't. Oh, wait. Did we talk about when they talked about Karen being on Ozempic? No, I don't think we did. So they confront Karen when she comes and it says, we're sitting here thinking that you're so worried because of your court case and that's why you're losing weight. And Kiana told the ladies, didn't know. She's on Ozempic. Do you think it was wrong for Kiana to talk about Karen being on Ozempic? Kiana says that they talk about the little things that they do, to kind of do their upkeep. Well, Karen says, there's diabetes in my family. It's preventative. Karen can't help but to lie. If we're going to say that Mia be lying, Karen be lying too. A lot since we've met her. Okay? So she says I'm on semaglutide. The active ingredient in Ozempic. Giselle's like, it's Ozempic. Dr. Wendy was like, there aren't other ways to prevent diabetes. Yes, diet and exercise. Diet and exercise. That is another way to prevent, diabetes. Diabetes is in my family too, and I'm on Ozempic. Just saying. Okay. Diet and exercise, y'all. There are other ways to prevent. Okay, so Karen pulls Jazelle to the side. Here's the thing. What I've noticed throughout the season of Real Housewives of Potomac, the OGs are producing. I think they've been on reality television so long, we can see them producing. So now Karen's best buddies with Jazelle this season. She's like, I got some stuff to tell you. Because they have to produce their season. They're not leaving it up to production. Like, we got to produce something. There's not a lot of things happening. We're at this sorry ass drag king show. We got to focus on someone. So Karen pulls Jazelle to the side and tells all the tea that Ray told her about his meeting with Gordon. About the kids going with Gordon, about the paternity test, about the divorce being on pause. So Giselle's like, what? Oh, I'm going to confront her. How does this affect the price of rice in China? Like, how does this affect you guys? If anything, it affects, like, you could talk about it, but not for like, oh, we need to confront her right now. And I'm not defending Mia, but at the same time, Kiana is all of us. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is going on? So Jazelle goes to confront Mia about it, and she says that Mia has been lying to the group, that we hear that the divorce is on pause. Mia's like, who said that? Mia says that she asked why does G's word have more importance than hers? Jazelle tells her that you're a known liar, that you refer to as a friend. Are you guys friends with a known liar? I'm not friends with a known liar. If I have a friend that constantly, habitually lies, they're not a friend. Maybe an associate, maybe a coworker, but they're not a friend. Um, so they decide to take it outside because they're in the club. They did have that little separate scene with Ashley dressed up in her drag king. Okay, we don't care. Okay, let's move on. So they go outside and they have a conversation about it, and Mia is on the defensive and she attacks Karen. She's just like, "You ain't got room to talk about anything. How come we can't talk about your drunk driving? How come we can't talk about all the men that you're sleeping with? That's not Ray Huger." And then Jazelle in her confessional is just like, "We all know that Karen sleeps with other men. Blah 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 blah." Do we all know? I know it's been a rumor, but do we all know? I thought that was very interesting that even came up. I thought it was really good. Mary Jane's baby says, "Not an associate because you can't trust anything they say either." Well, I agreed. I don't, unless people in my life are lying to me and I don't know it. But if I knowingly know that someone's a known liar, they're not in my life. They're not close to me. They might be from a distance. If I see them, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" and keep it moving. Stephanie says, what was it Karen says? Mia can't hurt me. Yeah. She can't hurt you, but Karen said, "Mia can't hurt me." I can't defend Karen in the situation. It feels as if they are trying to deflect because they don't want to talk about what's going on with Karen. They really did not talk about Karen's DUI this season. They talked a little bit about it, but they did not really talk about it like they would normally talk about everyone's drama. Everything this season has been about Mia, her marriage, her kids, and things like that. Let me see. Ricky, no cursing in the live chat. Nightbot will get you. Maisha, thank you for the super chat. Maisha says, "I just think Stacey should just get divorced and revel in being single. It's never good to jump from relationship to relationship." I don't think she is jumping from relationship to relationship. That's assuming that this relationship with TJ is real. Okay. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the super chat. Jocelyn says, "Karen be lying, drinking, and damn." And again, which is worse? It's worse. Jocelyn says that Karen be lying, drinking, and driving. Okay. I hate the fact that Mia is wrong in a lot of ways, but the deflection from the other people in this cast because they have nothing else going on is so interesting to me. Because I see them producing. Purple says Ashley's performance is next week. We don't want that. We wanted it to be one and done this week. Why are we dragging out this performance into next week? We don't care about this. Wouldn't it be funny if they just completely skipped it? It would be funny if they just completely skipped it. They should skip it. We don't care. All right. If you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys for some quick callers. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. How many people are here? All right, we almost got 2,000 people on YouTube, y'all. Let's get to 700 likes. Let's get to 700 likes, and I'll drop the call link for the general audience. Let me just drop this call-in link for our members on the community tab here on YouTube. And again, for those that may have missed it, I did have a special podcast episode available right now, an interview with former Real Housewives of Dubai star Chanel Ayan. And we talk about traders and a lot of other things. So if you missed it, be sure to check that out on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Members, we've dropped the call link for you guys on the community tab. All right. Brycey says, "I'm not a Mia fan. However, I'm glad she said something about Karen. Karen just doesn't have any standing anymore." Agreed. That's why I'm so conflicted, because I'm like, Karen, you have no room to talk. But Mia is a liar. But again, why are we so just infatuated with Mia's lies and her storyline? It's just weird. Okay. All right. Mr. Melon Magic says, "I'm sorry, but Mia needs to be checked for her lies on her kids because I'm tired of the Green Giant telling these lies." She could be checked, but I feel like the entire group trying to make it seem like, oh my gosh, she's the biggest liar of the group. I don't think so. You guys are all battling for the biggest liar, at least between Karen and Mia, because she lied a whole lot. Oh, and then Pegram says, yeah, but Karen confronting Mia is not the same after this video cam footage has come out. It's embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing for Karen. Sage says that Mia's lies are just more outlandish and involves her kids and involves mental health. So, Leslie says the Peacock version had Ashley's performance. No, it didn't. I watched the Peacock version. The Peacock version doesn't have her performance. They may have shown a snippet of her performance, but it didn't have her performance. I just watched it, unless it's a new version that came up. I think her performance will be next week, right? If not, oh, that'd be fantastic. That way we can completely skip it, because we really want to talk about it anyway. Okay? Asia, thank you so much for the super chat. Asia says, hold on, Asia. Let me bring this up. Asia says, hi, Kempire. I'm watching with my daughter, Awa, and she's laughing out loud at your commentary. Please add, not watched here not watched here for Kempire. We love you for real, London. Thank you, Asia. And you and Awa. I love your name. I love Asia and Awa. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Woo woo woo. You know how we do the woo woo in London is very different than how we do the woo woo in America. In America, we go woo woo woo. In London, we go woo woo woo. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. All right. Members, I see you guys are backstage. Once we get to 700 likes, I'll drop the call link for our live chat as well. Miss Bless, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Bless says, who do you think dropping receipts at the reunion? Apparently, in the 11th hour, I believe this was on Watch What Happens Live. In the 11th hour, like at the end of the reunion, they say you wouldn't expect someone comes in with receipts about something. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to watch the reunion. I've watched Real Housewives of New York all season. I will watch the Potomac reunion. I will continue to watch the season. So it will be interesting to see if this reunion lives up to what they're claiming, because they said it's neck and neck with season 5's reunion. We shall see. All right. Let's move on. Oh, wait a second. Amit says the Hey You Canada had the whole performance. Really? So does that mean next week I won't have to be subjected to this performance? Woo! Because I completely did not see it on the Peacock version. Mo says it's probably ink. Oh, God. Please be done with Mia and her storyline. I'm really not invested in her storyline at all. All right, let's move on. Let's get to some callers, guys. Don't forget, guys, the callers are calling up in of their own free will. The callers, their opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, our sponsors, TheKempire LLC, and they agree not to use profanity or derogatory commentary. All right, and everything that they're saying is alleged and should be taken for entertainment purposes only. Dej, thank you so much for being a member, and thank you for the super chat. Dej says, hi, Kempire. Can you do a recap of the traders? We do talk about traders. We just talked about traders on our Tuesday live. So be sure to check that out if you missed it. We did do a recap of traders. We will continue to do it for our Tuesday takeover. So be sure to check that out. I had lots of opinions, and there are timestamps for it. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Brian says, the biggest liar on Potomac is actually Stacy's boyfriend trying to convince us he's straight. Girl, bye. Okay. No, I still don't think that's the biggest lie. Come on. The biggest lie has to be, it's actually not even Mia. The biggest lie has to be is that Karen said during the season that she was going to be exonerated. That has to be the biggest lie of Potomac history that I can recall. Okay. Right? That has to be the biggest lie after seeing that body cam footage. That is the biggest lie. I will be exonerated. We see the body cam footage and we're like, huh? Mr. Bell, you are such a troublemaker. Exactly. He probably hitting Kemp up in his DMs. No, thank you. No, not interested. Okay. All right. Let's get to some callers so I can get out of here, because I have to rewatch, some of Married to Medicine. I was watching it before this. All right. Let's get to our callers. Let me put up my little disclaimer to remind you guys. Hold on. There we go. All right. Winter's backstage. We're going to bring Winter up first. Again, everyone, please respect the timer so that we can get to everyone. Okay? All right. Well, let's see what Winter has to say. Winter, what's going on?
Hi. How you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So My thoughts are, I'm just so disappointed with Karen this season. Like, I really used to look at her like she was kind of the face of the franchise. But with her lying in our face like that, it disappointed me. Like,
Yeah.
you almost 70 and you really just lied to us about a DUI. Like, that's crazy to
I
me.
wasn't ready for that. I almost choked.
Yeah, and it's just like the way she talks to Ray, like so disappointing. Ray's such a nice guy. I felt so bad for him. He just looked like, oh, here we go with my wife. But my other thoughts are just like, when are people gonna start telling the truth? Like the whole cast just lies. No one has a real storyline, and it's just starting to get boring. Like I could barely get through the episodes on Sundays, so
Ooh,
I don't know.
what happened to Black Sundays?
Black Sunday is not the same no more because Married to Medicine, we'll wait for that for later. Anyways, those,
Oh,
those are my thoughts.
thanks,
I'll let you get to
Winter.
everyone else, all right?
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye
Bye.
bye.
You could tell Winter's from New York. Okay. All right, Miss Bernice, we're gonna bring you up next. Miss Bernice, what did you want to share?
Um, what up, though? How everybody doing? Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday.
Happy MLK Day.
Yes.
The Lions lost, so no Super Bowl pound for me. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
This show, I'm tired of the hotacity of Mia.
Wait, what was that word?
Hotacity,
Oh.
because she's making what was her prime was she trying to make Hoation normalized with her behavior. I'm married, but I got a man on the side. But it's all okay because I'm being honest about it. No, it's not okay. That behavior is not okay. And as much as you want to prance it around to everybody, I put my kids out on Front Street. I question my son's paternity, but that's all right because I'm being honest about it. I'm keeping it real, you know. And Karen, woo woo woo, woo woo woo. Okay, you acting like she triple twenties. You acting like a 60-year-old woman because I did it, but I didn't do it, and you can't tell me I did it. I believe I didn't do it, so the tape is going to exonerate me, but it shows that I did do it, but that wasn't me.
In the worst way. But it wasn't you. Is that the next excuse?
Yes,
God.
yes.
Oh my God. All right. Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in. I'm so sorry about the Lions.
No problem. I'm just looking forward to the performance for when Kendrick Lamar sings "They Not Like Us."
Oh, we all gonna be.
Oh yes. So Drake can have a heart attack. Yes. Okay.
All right, Miss Bernice, have a great day. I'll see you. We're married to
Okay.
medicine.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye. She said audacity, y'all. At the whole nation. Lord have mercy. All right. Toya's backstage. We're gonna bring Toya up next. Toya, what did you want to share? Toya?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
Sorry about that. I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
doing well.
I agree with Miss Bernice because yes, yes, she's being open and she's talking about it, but it doesn't excuse, that this is just it's not cool.
No.
But I do want to talk about Kiana. First of all, I love that her location was in like, a high rent district area, especially Maryland, DC. That's expensive, okay?
Mm.
And I love her logo, how it was all over everything, just so, so nice. Um, it seems like every episode she has to tell us about some point of contention between her and Greg. And it's like, where's the love? Where's the
Mm.
fun? Maybe y'all's values don't align.
Mm.
And I'm all for women changing their last name and the traditional thing, but I think that because her name is her brand and it's all over, it's not like her brand name is something different. Like it's her name
Mm-hmm.
all over everywhere. I think that he should be okay with her getting it hyphenated. And also, sir, you already married and that did not work out. So you know that marriages don't may not last forever. So let her hyphenate her name.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
they
what's the
just
big
don't seem
deal?
like they really align.
Yeah. What's the big deal? The name.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say one more thing. Do you know Dre and Michelle? She's going through it with the house with her ex,
Oh
going to
yes.
court. Kiana, please don't end up like Dre and Michelle. Like it happens. She says she put 200K in a house, renovating it, and her ex is supposed to sell it to her, and he doesn't want to do it. So yeah, don't end up like that, girl. All right, thanks, Kempire. Bye.
Thanks, Toya. Bye. Wow. I mean, you got to. That's the thing. Like, if marriage is important to you, why get the house before getting the marriage? If that's a priority for UK, I wouldn't have moved in with him. I wouldn't have bought a house with him. If you're willing to make all those commitments, you should be able to make the commitment with the ring. Just saying. Doesn't mean because you have the ring and you get married that it changes what can happen after the marriage. If anything, you're getting a lot of red flags right now. And in defense of Kay, I'll defend Kay in the situation. We don't know. For all we know, she could have shared a lot of beautiful moments with Greg on the show, and they don't highlight that at all. That's a possibility. I don't know how true that is, but here we are. All right, O'Shea's backstage. We're going to bring O'Shea up next. O'Shea, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I just wanted to say I really didn't like that ending with how they all ganged up on Mia because they know who to play with. Because they didn't do this with Karen. They still aren't doing this with Karen. I was watching Wendy last night comment on the situation. I'm like, Miss Social Justice, where's the backbone? Like, what's going on here? And even the others, they've been making the media rounds. No one has anything to say. But also, may I just say, we really only need a one-part reunion. Who's going to talk in this reunion besides Mia?
Right?
Wendy, Kay, what are all these people gonna do? Ashley, what are they gonna sit on the couch and say?
Ashley's going to perform for us.
Oh, is she gonna give us a show? Like, we don't need to see it. I'm like, so no one's gonna. I guess maybe Giselle may have 2 minutes to talk about her disgruntledness with Mia, but like, so are we gonna have a 3-part reunion just about Mia and each of the lies in each section? No, we just have a 1-part reunion. Call it a break. Get in 2 new ladies. Fire half of this cast and let's move on to season 10. I think, but thanks.
Thank you, O'Shea. Take care. I mean, I agree. Like, what are we going to talk? We don't know if it's going to be a 3-part reunion. We don't know that. But especially after we've gotten such an amazing season from Salt Lake City, and right before that we had Orange County. All of these other shows are paling in comparison, and they've been paling in comparison. All right, let me see. Thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Drea, thank you for the super chat. Drea says, Kempire, I was watching from the bushes. I missed my notification again, but here I am. I am here now. Potomac started out promising, but it's boring now. Karen be lying too. Yeah, she does. Right, Drea? Thank you for the super chat, Drea. Deborah, thank you for the super chat. Drea says, you want that blouse, Kempire? I saw it. Someone sent me a link from Amazon. I'm not wearing that. I'm wearing something else to my DC show. Charlene, thank you so much for being here. Charlene says, here's an idea. Kempire, Bravo needs to give you a show. I'd rather watch you instead of Housewives. I'm truly enjoying your entertainment. Thank you so much, Charlene. We're thinking bigger than Bravo, though. All right. Let's get to the rest of our callers. I did drop the call-in link for our live chat already. I see we have quite a few people backstage. Bernice, what did you want to share in regards to Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. So, I don't watch the show, but I was bored last night, so I decided to, check in on it a little bit. And Karen's a liar because when you're pre-diabetic, they don't give you medication. They send you or refer you to a nutritionist. Second, who are they going to bring into this reunion? Candace, so they can talk about how they skip the whole color thing? Or Robin? Hope not. They don't pick Robin, please.
Oh, you're breaking up. Bernice, you're breaking up.
Okay. Hear me now?
Now I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why the whole show is boring because nobody talks about their real life or they give us little segments of their real life. And Stacey, it probably was easier for her to ask that guy she went to help her out because, they were co-workers on QVC. So maybe it was easy for her to say, hey, it's not working out for you, maybe because he was kind of boring as a host anyway. So
Brittany.
also, oh, okay. So anyway, the
Oh,
show is boring. So
thanks, Bernice. Thanks for calling in.
have a good day.
You too. Y'all did drag him about his QVC host thing. I can see him on QVC though, but I never seen him literally on QVC. But I can see that type of guy on QVC. All right, Tyler's backstage. Let's see what Tyler has to say. Tyler, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So, first of all, last night showed me everything I needed to know. You know, like when you look at a tree and the roots, you can tell how old it is. That's how I was looking at TJ's face. You're not 41. Those wrinkles stretch long and far. You are not 41. Hello? I thought it froze. I'm sorry. I thought it froze. But
My heart did.
as far as Mia goes, I do feel like that ganged up on her, but I also feel like, girl, I think it's more so of a girl, stop lying thing. Like, it's like, you sitting up here, yes, Karen lies and deflects or whatever like that. Yes, she does. But Karen's been doing this since day one. And Karen, I guess it's because it's the likability factor of Karen. I don't know. But Mia, it's like, your lies are just so, like, girl, go. Just go. I don't have time. And what I will say, Kiana, this episode, I did like you a little bit, but I feel like I wish that Potomac would go back to what Atlanta used to do. Like, we would know a new housewife came out is coming when the show actually comes on, but you seeing that they test them. Who do they have chemistry with and things like that. I think that's where they're missing the mark. You need to go back to kind of like testing girls out and then bringing them in the fold. But
Yeah.
other than that, bye Mia and TJ, just count the wrinkles in his neck. It'll tell you his age. All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, damn. Damn. Okay. All right, let's get to the rest of the calls. We have a long line backstage, y'all. Please respect the time so we can get to everyone. Mel's backstage. Mel, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hey, Kempire. First, I
Hey.
want to say, you know what? It is a blessing to have you on today
Thank
with
you.
everything going on in the world. And I sometimes I think, our grandparents were like, wow, how far we've come. Even though it looks
Mm,
crazy, but to have a black man up here doing his thing,
thank you,
what's
Mel.
going on in the world, it is, to me, is a blessing. And I want to say thank you.
Sidebar, I will say this, Mel. Thank you, Mel. I will
You're
say this.
welcome.
I was really excited, though, that we did have programming that we could cover today so that we can really just, like, focus on something else.
That's what I'm doing too. That's what I'm doing too. But you know what? I want to say too, the Essence article triggered me to
Mm,
think about this in a good way.
mm,
And I would try to make it as brief as possible. You know what? I think that would I was trying to figure out what is wrong with the show, and I think Essence covered it beautifully. But for me, I think that the romance is gone. There's no
mm,
romance on this show, and we don't really have really loving relationships. When I first got to Potomac, Giselle was somebody who was divorced, who loved her children, and she was dating, and everybody else had different kind of relationships. Right now, we don't really have that going on. And I know some people have gotten divorced, but we don't have loving relationships. Potomac represents to me like a married to medicine and OC combination, where in the OC they had relationships very strongly, and in married to medicine they had the shade, and they also had marriages. They don't have that here. We have a lot of confusion, a lot of fake storylines. And Mia, the only thing we know about her is that she's a mom of beautiful children. We don't know
mm,
nothing about her after all these years. So for me,
mm.
that is what I feel is really killing the show. We don't have loving relationships, and the people are really being fake on the show. And I wish that going forward, oh, I'm sorry, I wish that going forward we would have more love and romance. We would have the women really working their relationships and the guys too. And the best seasons always had the guys, no matter who they were, behind the women on the show at the reunion. That was always the best because you always had the fullness of it. We don't have that on a consistent basis. This show works best when the relationships are working, when the man and everybody involved in loving ways,
Mm.
not in this very dark, seedy threesome thing that's going on. We don't need that anymore. Go back to season one and give us romance and give us love again and give us full on wonderful relationships. That works for Potomac. Not all shows on Bravo does this. That works that way. But Potomac, this is the recipe for me.
Mm.
That what makes the show magic. That was what made it magic initially for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
All right, Mel. Thank you so much for calling in and happy MLK Day.
You too.
Bye. All right, we have Kari backstage. We're going to bring Kari up next. Kari, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac's latest episode?
What's up, Kempire? Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. So I want to say the biggest lie of Potomac, first off, was that Michael was in love with Ashley and that he didn't grab that man's butt. That
Mm.
was the biggest lie of Potomac.
Okay. Yeah,
And
right.
then moving on from that, Kiana, you're looking a little thirsty and desperate for a relationship because if you were really a strong-willed woman, the moment that that man said that he's not marrying anyone who wants to hyphenate their name, you would have left. Like there's no compromising. It doesn't matter how many lovely moments might not have been shown. Y'all aren't Y'all values don't match. Y'all aren't equally yoked. But he knows that he can break you because you stayed. And so broken
Mm.
you shall end up being. If Giselle wasn't a colorist bop it, y'all know that old game, bop it, twist, turn, pull? That's Giselle. Every time she twists and turns, she pulls colorism out. Anyway, if she wasn't such a colorist, her scenes with her daughters would be interesting, but instead I remember her dragging her dark-skinned castmate for her own generational wealth while trying to win back hers in court. Isn't it funny how life works? Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Kari. Sharon's backstage. Miss Sharon's backstage. Miss Sharon, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. Did you hear about the Lions?
Yeah, I saw that game. They are choke artists. I forgot about that. I thought they got rid of that. Got rid of that being choke artists, but they've done it all the time. Every time they get up to the playoffs, they choke. There's no way Washington should have won that game like they did.
What do you think, Miss Bernice?
Man,
What do you think, Miss Bernice?
She didn't lie. She didn't lie.
I feel like Jerry Springer. I'm always trying to get Miss Bernice and Miss Sharon to fight, and they always let me down.
sorry, Kempire.
We have our day. I have no problem. I have faith in my boys.
Okay.
But she told no lie. We did joke.
Damn.
That was an all around team
They'll
effort.
come back.
Maybe.
Oh, I have no doubt about that, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe next year they'll come back.
Okay.
They have a good team.
Well, guess what? I think the Lions won't come back next season.
And what's your
That's
point?
not my fight.
I'm joking. Okay, Miss Bernice, we'll get back to you. Okay. Sharon, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
I want to say thank you, Karen, for giving my husband a good laugh. When I told him about what she on her tapes, he fell out his chair, and he said, "Man, she was effed up."
Come on.
Yeah,
She was lit.
my husband doesn't even watch those shows.
Mm.
He thinks Lifetime is called Lifetime for Dummies. That's what he calls Lifetime.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, but I want to say this: everybody's calling Karen a liar at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think she knew it was on the cams, on the videos at that point. And I don't think the other ladies knew that Karen was, going to be convicted guilty at that point of filming. So you really can't say Karen is a liar at this point in the show. Understand?
Okay.
Yeah. But Mia is lying because it was taped in real time. And so that's all I had to say. Happy MLK Day.
You too, Miss Sharon. Thanks for calling in. All right, we have Audrey backstage. We're going to bring Audrey up next. We have a long line, guys, so I just want to make sure our last person will be Maisha. So we have Audrey, Anthony, Poppy, Amanda, Kimberly, Miss Bernice, Arjun, and Maisha. Okay. All right, let's bring up Audrey. Hold on. Audrey, what do you want to share about Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. Happy MLK Day.
You too.
And thank you so much for that reading. It's a tough day. So, yeah, I needed that. I know a lot of people needed that as well. So thank you for that. So I came back from my spa treatment to watch Potomac last night.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another disappointment.
Damn.
Just a couple things. The TJ acting, I see why he didn't make it. I get it. I'm sitting up there watching. The first thing I was walking into my kitchen to get my factor meal, and And yes, there you go. And I was like, no tears. And I just walked into my kitchen. Like it was just like no tears, nothing. Um and I just want to say this, just going off the heels of that epic Salt Lake City. I'm glad you mentioned it. That Salt Lake City finale. I was on my treadmill just watching it for the third time. Like
Yes.
how good that was. I love Angie. I know this is not a Salt Lake review, but I
It's fine.
love Angie and Mary. And the fact that I discovered that Angie's a Scorpio like me makes total sense. The way like that when they read her text, it was like, and she was like, "Oh gosh, she's already crying." Such a Scorpio. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
said it. I did. So there it is. But anyway, Potomac. I just think. Oh, just I'll finish it really quickly. I promise. 'Cause I know you have to go. Um, I would really like a soft reboot.
Hmm.
Moving on, I'm so glad you clocked Ashley with a smile because it just
Yeah.
seems so inauthentic.
Yes.
I don't like that. I really don't like how she plays with the LGBTQ plus I think I got it. Community. I don't like how she plays with it because I think for her it's just something that's fun and interesting and edgy, but not
Mm.
sincere. And
Mm.
so I don't like how she does that. I would love for her to be gone next year. I'm glad, and I'll say this and I'll be done. The ladies pay attention to that the interaction with Stacey and that attorney.
Oh.
Please, when you're going through those situations, worst case scenario, ladies, get your money. You're after the dude. Well, no, I won't say that, but I'll say go after the bag. At the end of the day, things change.
Mm.
Women come into, all kinds of things play out. Get your money at the end of the day. And I would love that there was a brown skinned black attorney there to tell her, like, listen, sis, you may want to rethink this. So I thought that was the only best part of it. And anytime Giselle's with her kids, I just love it. It makes her softer.
Yeah.
So she should go down that road. But anyway, Kempire, you know, I'm just waiting for Atlanta at
Okay.
this point. Like, just bring it on. Let's just do it, ladies. Like, let's just bring on Atlanta and let's do it big.
Yeah.
But Kempire, thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much for that reading of MLK's speech. It really actually meant a lot to me, and especially
Thank
on
you.
a day like today.
Yeah.
It meant a lot. So anyway, happy MLK Day. Happy MLK Day to all the listeners. Y'all be well.
You too, Audrey. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, bye. We have Anthony backstage. We're gonna bring Anthony up next.
Okay,
Anthony.
coming.
Oh.
Hey, sorry. Hey, Kempire. Hey, community. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. Sorry, I just had to tell my partner that I'll be on my way, but I need to do this call first. um, so I give Potomac a 6 out of 10. I thought it was all right. Just to talk about the end of the episode and as well the reunion. For Mia and Karen to go at it, you're both are in the wrong, so I don't understand why you're fighting with this. I mean, with Mia's storyline of her baby daddy. I mean, the fact that you knew this already, and I'm sure for years, and you're playing with your child's name for this season is beyond. I don't understand what type of mother would ever do that. I don't understand why you would think this is drama, this is tea, this is what you would think television needs to see. I don't get it. So Mia missed me with that. For Karen, I know uh, for people to think that she didn't see the body camera or anything, I know the next day she felt it though. The
Oh.
next morning, I'm sure she had Pedialyte bottles on her nightstand, locked and ready. Cause you swear you seeing her in that footage that she wouldn't feel it the next day. And for lastly, for the reunion coming up, for the Mo info part that Bravo said, it better not be a one-on-one with Karen and Andy, or for her to show up the last 30 minutes of the reunion. No. Karen, no, goodbye.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you, Kempire.
Thanks, Anthony. Take care. Look, I'm gonna just keep an open mind about the reunion. I'm gonna keep an open mind about how this is going to play out during the reunion, but we shall see. And of course, we will be talking about it here. In regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think we should be getting an announcement soon, probably next month, if not March. So we shall see. Katia, thank you so much for the super chat. Katia says, hi, Kempire. I just wanted to know if you will recap Young, Famous, and African Season 3 from Katia in London. Yes, I am planning on it. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it, between work, between editing, between life. So let me watch it first, and then I will keep you guys posted when I'll be doing a recap. Miranda, thank you so much for the super chat. Miranda says, what do you think about Ashley and Jacqueline? As them as a couple, I don't want to think about them. I hated last week's episode. I don't want to think about them at all. Please and thank you. I barely want to see Ashley in this week's episode performing. All right, let's move on. Guys, don't forget I'll be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST for our recap of Married to Medicine. I have a few thoughts about that one. All right, Poppy's backstage. Let's bring Poppy up next. Poppy, what did you want to share about this Real Housewives of Potomac episode?
I want to say a happy, thoughtful MLK Day to everybody.
You too.
All right. I'm going to make it quick. I have my thoughts. Karen don't care. Karen does not care. Karen will not care. And she still has not cared. And everybody's throwing her bones, sympathy bones, if anything. Kiana, throw her a bone with the Ozempic. And you knew how Jazelle was going to take it. Jizzy was going to Jizzy. And still a bone was thrown when Jizzy got activated for no reason at Ashley's, whatever it is, Peloton, whatever Ashley's doing right now. And, but she gets activated for no reason. And I was really trying to figure out if it's the edits or if it's, I don't know, the colorist Bop It of it all said another color, that's hilarious. So I was confused about it all. And back to Stacey, my Aquarius sister, and she's a little spacey, and Stacey's not getting it all the way. The download's not reaching her. And we live for it, and I'm here for her, and I hope that she did take all of the information that the mediation and the lawyer gave her. If anything, y'all have a great day.
You too, Poppy. Take care. All right, let's get to some of these other callers. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. We have, almost 1,800 of you here. Can we get to 1,000 likes? Thank you in advance. All right, let's bring up Amanda next. Amanda, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So Mia and Karen are cut from the same cloth. I'm glad that we all agree on that now. However, Karen is just a little different. Her lies have matured, and Mia, her lies are still like a wine cooler, like Seagram, Smirnoff. Karen is like, an upscale champagne of lies. She's so delusional. She believes herself, and that's why she took her case to trial. And the other difference is that Mia, she volunteers her lies. We don't ask for them.
Yes.
Like Karen, we have to ask her, and then she's gonna lie. Just like the whole Ozempic situation, she wasn't gonna bring that to camera herself. And then the other thing is, I was super triggered watching Stacy and TJ because I went on a date with a man who was just like TJ recently, and yeah, ladies beware.
What you mean, Amanda?
Kempire is so much. It's so much. Like he's trying, the man that I went on a date with, he's trying to cosplay as a manly man, trying to like he picked me up, he ordered my food for me, did all these things, sat there and really just convinced me that he was who he said he was. But the second he got the chance, the things that I talked to him about, like about my own personal life, he weaponized them against me. And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry that all the people in your past, couldn't, you don't even recognize a full blown man in front of you, and that I'm gonna take care of you and all these things, and that I care about you and all this stuff." Mind you, we had only went on a couple of dates. But really, I realized that he doesn't like women.
Wow.
I don't like. There's so much more details. I don't want to like take up too much time.
Oh, you're gonna have to come back, Amanda. Keep your notifications on, because Winter says I love when we talk dating because I got stories, because we did a dating live a couple of weeks ago. So you have to call back in because we're going to fold.
I have all my notifications on.
Okay.
When we do that, I will be in attendance.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in and sharing, though. Bye. All right, Miss Bernice, we're gonna bring you up. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire. You know what? I had to come back because I had to talk about the broke down Shamar Moore and his scene with Stacey. I'm sorry. Was that not 8th grade acting 101? Was that not?
Yep.
All I needed him to start singing was One Wish by Ray J. What? You sit up there begging her to go public with you when you know she's in the middle of a divorce? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
If she came out with you now, she would lose in her divorce
Mm.
because the man would get spiteful because his ego is going to be hurt,
Mm.
and he's going to take away from her and her child. And I'm sorry. I'm like, Stacey, you're not coming to my house where my child lay her head at. What's wrong with you?
Mm.
And he kept looking like, I'm sorry. Like a Muppet with the way his eyes and he was smiling.
Okay.
You wasn't looking all that great, bruh. Like, really?
All right, Miss Bernice, we gotta go. But thank you for calling in. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, we have Arjun backstage. We'll bring Arjun up next. Arjun, what do you want to share?
Oh, last week when you mentioned you wanted to know where the TJ thingy was from, the shirt that he was wearing, I did kind of research like on Google, like trying to find out if there was a similar one. I found it, so shall I send you the link?
Please do. DM it to me.
It looks really similar, and so I think it might be this one, and it's from a good company as well.
Oh, okay. Expensive. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's on sale right now, but I think it's 100 euros. It's 100 euros. It's not that expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can find, if the website is good, you can search it up, but I'll send you the link on Instagram then.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
Thanks, Arjun. Arjun's funny. I ain't wearing that shirt, but I'll look at it. You never know. It might be cute. All right. Maisha's backstage. We'll bring Maisha up next. Maisha, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
This is my first live. I'm part of the replay crew.
Okay.
I normally listen on Tuesdays. I'm a mail carrier, so I just wanted to say hey, and I wanted to say you and my daughter are birthday twins. But I just wanted to say that I do think Karen and Mia are two sides of the same coin. And I agree with, I think it was Amanda who said Mia offers up her lies. Like, she'll just randomly be like, oh, Gordon came in and said da-da-da-da. And Karen has to be asked. Doesn't make one better than the other, but it's just, it's crazy. It's draining to watch because I've watched Potomac literally from the beginning, and it's lost its the oomph that it used to have. So it's kind of disheartening to see, and it's, I hate to use the word ratchet because that's what it's given sometimes. But other than that, oh, and also I wanted to comment on Stacey and Kiana. I want to say Stacey, I want her to get some of what Kiana has, which is don't put all your eggs on one basket. Like Kiana got her own businesses, her own money, and all of that. That's important. Yeah. And I'm saying that as a happily married woman. You still need to always have a plan because it might not always work out.
Have your FU fund.
Excuse me, what'd you say?
Have your FU fund.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's an intelligent woman, so hopefully she gets it together. So, but happy MLK Day, and I love watching you.
Thank you, Maisha. Have
You're
a great
welcome.
day.
You too.
Bye. I love it. I forgot that a lot of people are off today for the holiday MLK Day. So shout out to those of you that are usually part of the replay crew but are part of our live chat. Let us know if you're part of the replay crew and you're watching live. All right, let's get to these last couple of callers because I got to go. All right, Indira, we're going to bring you up next. Indira, what did you want to share?
Hello, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
Two things. First, I'm very disappointed in Karen. I looked up to Karen. That wig. And then my issues with Mia. My issue with Mia is Kempire, I'm bisexual. And I am not that hypersexual. Or any other bisexual women that I know. And what annoys me about Mia, she subscribes to a heterosexual man's idea of what bisexuality is. And it's very unhealthy. I don't like it. Because you don't need to talk about sex that much.
No.
Because being bisexual does not mean you want to have sex with everybody.
No.
So That's my views. Respect the timer.
Thank you, Indira. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. She still had 15 seconds left. All right. Let's bring up Miss Esquire next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey, and thank you for my super chats.
Of course, I had to give me a shimmy today in honor of the king. So, no, I will say this. Like you, I think it is very jarring to me that the women are holding Mia to account more for her personal decisions instead of the choices she's made that has directly impacted them. I think it's her right to be wrong. I understand what they're saying about how harmful things are to her children and what they'll see in the future and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, listen, if you are their parents and you're not protecting them against that, I can't fight you to protect them. You know what I'm saying? Outside of you putting them in like literal harm's way.
Yeah.
The thing with Stacey, going back to this, like, I don't have a lawyer, I'm going into mediation. I think it's not smart. I just don't. I don't even listen. I tell everybody, you are not divorcing the same person that you married, and you need to keep that in mind. And if they the person who brought up divorce, that means they've been thinking about divorce at least one more day than you have, and you playing catch up, baby.
Oh.
So I don't play them. Even with some of my close friends, I don't play them type of games. You get your lawyer, you get a forensic accounting, and then we decide how we going. If this man had bills that she didn't even know were bills in her name, then that definitely means you need a forensic accounting, and a mediator is not going to order that. You have to advocate for that for yourself, and you need a lawyer to clearly advocate for that to happen. That's something that happens in court, not a mediation.
Do you think she's playing dumb?
I hope that what she's doing is not revealing on the show every move that she's making in the divorce proceeding, so that maybe she's protecting her family, their image, her children, and she's not letting us in every detail. That is the best that I could hope for.
Yeah.
Because if what she is saying is true, you are not being very smart. Now, it is true that if he agrees to pay child support outside of the confines of the loss, of the divorce, that can always be revisited. Like if they agree to one thing and he don't pay that, she can go back to the courts and seek child support.
Yeah.
But that spousal support, the equitable division of them assets, baby, that's a one-hit quitter.
Yeah.
And once you sign off on that, you signed off.
That's important to know. I mean, these are
Yeah,
conversations we would have never had besides Stacey bringing it up on the show. So in a way, we can be like, I'm glad for it.
I appreciate you. I mean, I hope that's not your situation, but I appreciate you for being a cautionary tale, if nothing else.
I don't know if I believe her, though. Just based off of her reaction to the attorney.
Nothing about her gives me dumb. It gives me playing dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I asked. Thanks, Miss Esquire.
Bye.
Take care. Stacey. Okay, let's bring, last but definitely not least, we're going to bring up Judgy Justice. Judgy Justice, are you coming to the Washington, D.C. show this Friday at the Union Stage?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All right. Yes, I'll be there. I got my ticket. I got my tickets. So for me, I'm just really disappointed in Stacey's handling of her divorce. It just seems like she's fumbling the bag. If I had somebody who was super wealthy that I married, who I did without a prenup, I have a child, why would I skip out on child support just because now things are good? And like for her to be battling with the attorney, like the attorney's trying to advise you of something that so that later on, like 3 years down the road, when he's with somebody else and they have kids, and they don't just cut off your daughter. And also another element is that he's not like, I don't think he's an American citizen. I think he's like German or something.
He's German.
So,
I don't know
like,
if he's not an American citizen though.
Yeah. So like, I don't know exactly, but if he's a German nationalist and he goes home to Germany, she can't serve him to like readjust this later. It's going to be a long process to readjust later. I would rather get it all squared out, get all the things together.
Yeah.
But then it's also very selfish because she's like, oh, I want my alimony. So why not take care of your child? Make sure it's guaranteed that he's going to pay for the private school. It's guaranteed that her tuition's paid for. Why would we not set up her daughter for success? So that's my 2 cents. I'll see you on Friday.
All right. Bye, Judge Justice. All right. We have Trey. Trey will be our last caller officially. Okay. What's going on, Trey?
Hey, Kempire. I'm actually happy I caught you like right before the last caller.
Yep.
I'm going to keep this super short. I just want to thank you so much for sharing what you shared in regards to when Mia's talking about her husband's bipolar disorder. And I literally put on Threads last night her quote when she said that people with bipolar disorder, they act as if they're normal, they look and appear. I take that personally because I've told you on the platform I'm bipolar too. I know many black women that are bipolar. My favorite singer, Mariah Carey, is bipolar. And the things that Mia is saying, I just do not think is right. Also, thank you for clocking Greg because I clocked him as soon as I saw him and the way he was with Kiana,
Yeah.
as if it's something wasn't totally right. I do like Kiana. I think she's a great person. I would like to see more of her, her family, her life. Tell us more about Greg, other than Greg and the social work, like stuff that she's doing. My homegirl, who's the social worker in the DMV, already clocked Kiana and was like, especially my homegirl, she's a licensed social worker. She has multiple degrees, and she's like, I want to hear more about Kiana and not about her booze business. Thank you so much, Kempire. You have a great day.
You too, Trey. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
Bye. Whew, child. Look, we've been live for 2 hours officially, but we will be live at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST. And if I'm late, you will bear with it. You see, I only have an hour. I have to run out and get something for the studio. But I will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the United States and around the world. He had a very international presence. We will continue the I Have a Dream speech for our Married to Medicine live recap at 4 p.m. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate your support. We had some more. Thank you, Stefan. Stefan says, Kempire, we need an Agony Aunt live show. Agony Aunt live show? What do you mean? What's an agony aunt? Thank you, Brian, for another super chat. Brian says, Karen Yuger's disheveled, broke down, misaligned, raggedy, wiry looking wig with not car parts in it, should be put in the Bravo clubhouse in a glass box and put a mole on the head for effect. I'm starting to think this is Jazelle on her Finster account. Jazelle, is that you? Are you watching the recap, Jazelle? I'm starting to think she's using that Finster account to come at Karen. She's been talking about Karen. Her and Regular Robin have been talking about Karen on the Two Broke Girls podcast. Anyways, we will be back. We'll be back, guys, at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TeamKempire.com/join. And, of course, thank you to our subscribers. And shout out to those of you that usually are part of the replay crew but are here live with us. I hope you'll be live with us during our Married to Medicine recap. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Go get something to eat. That's what I'll be doing. Goodbye. All right, bye, y'all. Let's get out. Oh, don't forget, guys, the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. this week. And then, of course, New York City next month. A new year and new shows. The Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th of 2025. I know it's going to be an interesting week, so why not unwind, relax, and have a good time with our community and me at Union Stage again on Friday, January 24th, 2025. Meet and greet tickets are still available. All the information will be available in the description. New York City, then you're up next for Black History Month. We're bringing the Kempire After Dark live experience back to the Green Room 42. So if you want to talk hot topics and more with me, make sure you get your tickets today. But for those that can't make it to the show, or maybe you're international and you still want to view the show, get this exclusive opportunity to get the streaming option, the live streaming option at the Green Room 42.